Hey, you guys. Hey, family. Hold on. I'm actually happy to be back, first of all. I'm happy to be back really for like two reasons. Number one is because I have so much to talk about. Like, I miss you guys. I really wanted to come back to the podcast and update, my listeners on what was going on. And number two, like, the word last year was consistency. And I don't know if you are not subscribed to the blog or not, but the word for this year is fun. Now I'm having fun making podcasts. Like it's something that I know how to do. It's low key. It's not even that serious. I'm not, an expert or nothing like that, but it's like, hey, I'm on episode 5, y'all. This is episode 5 of Life with Lexis K podcast. And welcome back. I'm your cousin Lexis K, aka the Rude Gal K, aka the Mommy Mogul, aka Mrs. Green, y'all. We're gonna talk about that later. um, and today's episode is titled Let Me Take Care of You, he said, manifesting abundance in your feminine energy. Now, before I really jump into it, I gotta give a disclaimer. Y'all know I had these podcast episodes written up for about a year and a half now. At least 18 episodes. Excuse me. At least 18 months ago, I wrote out these podcast episodes. So the title of this episode is old, but the content of the episode is new. All right. All right. Let me take a deep breath, y'all, because I'm excited. So I'm all over the place. But I want to make sure today's episode is intentional and engaging, but also entertaining, and y'all can understand me because I can get to rambling. All right. Let's do another one. Breathe in and out. Today's affirmations. I am enough as I am. I allow my energy to create a path in life for me. I rest in my feminine energy, knowing it affords me all I need. All right. So y'all know I gotta give y'all a quick update. It is Life with Lexus K podcast and the life be life, y'all. Life be life. So I don't know what I told y'all last episode, but my baby, I could tell y'all, this is my real life. So my baby was diagnosed last month with a type of brain tumor, normally benign, right? So she had brain surgery just like last week, Friday. She's recovering well. There go those ums, y'all. I was doing so amazing. And look, my mind went to going left. And I went to start doing those dang on ums. But anyway, she's doing amazing. Medication, all that. We keeping up with doctor's appointments and all that. It changes your life when you have health issues, or health concerns come up. But I love my baby. Y'all know I'm going toe to toe. I'm going hell and high water. I'm going to heaven and everywhere else, y'all. I'm going east, west, whatever. I don't even say no words about, really how I am coming to life about my babes, about the ones that I made. Um, I mentioned there another go, y'all. I mentioned during the beginning that AKA Mrs. Green, your girl got married. Rude Gal K got married, y'all. Can y'all believe that? I be joking with my friends, my close friends. I'm like, y'all, I'm really married, y'all. Nah, but literally, I got married. Not I got married. Me and Papa got married on December 28th. That was our wedding day. But y'all, we eloped, if you want to call it that. And I don't know. It's cool. Like I'm vibing. I'm really just living life lavish. Like this is something that I wanted. You know what I mean? I love my ring. I love my life. I love my husband. I'm not gonna lie. I have a wonderful husband. I can't get on here and brag too much about it because you jinx. You start bragging about them in words. You jinx them. But y'all, I have an amazing husband. Like he is one that you can brag about. He cooks, he cleans, he F's, he shuts up. Okay, I'm just joking. Dead serious. Nah, but our relationships is something that's so beautiful. Something that has grown both of us, emotionally and spiritually. He is my friend. He is my partner. He is. He got the podcast before y'all got the podcast, y'all, because I get up in the morning and talk his head off for 2 hours. At least I cut the episodes down to about 30, 45 minutes. I'll be done talked his head off from the time we woke up in the bed to the shower. We taking a shower. I'm still talking his head off. Then we getting out the shower. We brushing our teeth. I'm still talking. I'm doing skincare talking, getting dressed talking. I'll be done talk from the time we woke up to the time we sat down and ate breakfast. No lie. But either way, I love my husband. I love my life. So that's an update in my life. Y'all gotta listen to episode 1, okay? Clock that T. If you didn't never listen to episode 1, it's time to listen to it again. Matter of fact, you can listen to episode 4 as well. Hey, because I never played. All right. Um, so my Black in Business Nexus, that is an entrepreneur mixer networking event, vendor event hosting in Jacksonville, Florida. I'm planning to reschedule that to later in the year just because, like I said, y'all, my baby just had surgery. I'm not my mind, I gotta take it one step at a time for real just to build a strong foundation. But the blog and the podcast, these are outputs, you know what I'm saying? That I can really pour my mind into and take some time to really make something beautiful out of. So I'm really happy to be back. And I say that to say the Mommy Mogul Consultant is live. Yes, check out the mommymogulco.com. I did something recently where I did like, the 1 year review. You can look on my TikTok and I was like, where was I 1 year ago? You know what I mean? I was substitute teaching, broke, or that's how I felt. You get what I'm saying? I said it and I was dragging it. So I was like, girl, you broke, you got no money, you got $0. I was like, girl, don't take it that far. But at the same time, I really am in a better spot, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and have a deeper understanding with self. Even able to use and wield my magic even sharper, really understanding what type of magic I got. We're not gonna get into that this episode, y'all, but one day we're gonna talk about it a little bit. Just the magic of the world and how it really exists. But like I said, the Mommy Mogul Consultant is live, y'all. I'm creating this life. It's very much live life lavish. Live Life Lavish University. We'll talk about it later, but that's always on my mind. That's always available. Um, but yeah, so let's jump into today's story time, y'all. Let me make sure I'm not too close to the mic. But let's jump into today's story time. Um, Today's story time is titled Maji and the Drum Major. Maji and the Drum Major. So that's as PG-13 as I can get it. All right. Now these are two people that I went to high school with. Maji, she's still my girl to this day. You feel me? My kids know Maji. Um, but the Drum Major, not necessarily. We still Instagram, follow each other on Instagram. But I know of this person as well. Now these two individuals really they're in, you know, somewhat of a situationship. I don't know what they got going on. You know what I'm saying? This is not my story to tell. But this is the part that I really want to emphasize. She was telling me and she was just like, Alexis, y'all, that's my name, LOL. She was like, Alexis, I really haven't been with anybody that I can really have an intellectual conversation with or intellectually be challenged or not even challenged but matched. You know what I'm saying? I'm really used to dealing with dudes that are not that smart. And we've been seeing it, y'all. Like, be honest, you've been seeing all the discourse about how men are intellectually challenged, XYZ, blase, squaze on social media. And I'm not gonna lie, they're I don't know what a few of them was left behind, quite a few, quite a bit, quite a majority. But we're not here to talk about that. We'll talk about that another day. I want to talk about the drum major. The drum major was not one of those intellectually challenged people, right? He was able to hold a conversation. He was able to correct her. He was able to really go toe to toe with her intellectually, and that was something different that she wasn't used to. Y'all, the song for today is One in a Million by Neo. I know I didn't tell y'all that, but listen to that one. Put that one on your playlist. That one's gonna box your life up. A little music manifestation. Um, But yeah, he was really giving her a run for her money. Like he was challenging her mentally. And that made her feel some type of way. And she was like, girl, I don't know what to do. And I was like, what do you mean? What you mean what you want to do? What do you want? Because I can say I found myself in a very similar scenario. You know what I'm saying? With Papa, like I challenged it. I challenged the dynamics. I challenged the help, the support, because it was coming in a way that I wasn't used to seeing, or maybe I wasn't used to seeing consistently, on top of financially, on top of, I wasn't seeing somebody support me in multiple ways. That was like, whoa, back up, get off of me. What you think? I'm gonna be dependent on you? Nah. You wanna fight that. And today, with today's episode, this is what he said to her. And y'all, this is why I prefaced at the beginning. I said I wrote out the title of these episodes about a year and a half ago, literally. Not even in ChatGPT. I wrote them out on a piece of paper and then put them on a Google Doc, right? And then added them to ChatGPT later on, like year 2025. So this title is old. Let me take care of you is what the drum major said to Maji. And I said, girl, this is so I needed this. I needed this because my next podcast episode, yes, there are planned. My next podcast episode is titled Let Me Take Care of You, he said. Manifesting abundance in your feminine energy. And I just have to say, as a married woman, I'm just playing y'all. But it's like my husband, and I've said this before, my husband is like the perfect wife, if that makes sense. Now, hear me out. My husband does all the cooking. He does most of the cleaning. You get what I'm saying? Most of the cooking, most of the cleaning. He just went to grocery shopping today. He went and got the food. What did you call it? The Sam's card, Costco card, right? All of that. Went and got the tires. So he's like, when I say the best wife, it's like everything your wife would do on top of being a husband. You get what I'm saying? And that does not take away from anything um in terms of power dynamics, because this is something I had to realize. And that takes me to what we talking about today. I like the feminine energy is a dominant energy. It is not necessarily this soft passive, I just rest. It is. And at the same time, you're resting because you have already delegated the work to, you get what I'm saying? All right, let's continue. The scenario with Maji and the drum major reminded me why this episode today is so important. And also, what I've been talking about for the last at least 12 months, y'all. Y'all can go on the blog. I had a podcast, a blog episode that I've been talking about this whole time. The Future is Female is a March 2nd, 2025, I think, something like that, where I'm just talking about how the feminine energy is awakening to this power. And that power forces the divine masculine and that masculine energy, that divine masculine energy to submit. And this is the true nature. Think about it like bees, y'all. You have the queen bee. The queen bee, there's worker bees too. The worker bees, right? They're female. The worker bees are female. They're doing their thing. They handling bees. They handling business. The queen bees. The drone bees, which are the male bees, they just do what the queen bees tell them to do. The worker bees handle their business, right? But they not doing what the queen bee they handling their business, meaning they going out there collecting the honey. They getting it. They out there bossing up. That's just like, the ladies today. When you read my podcast episode, why am I saying it like that? When you read the blog, The Future is Female, on lifewithlexiskai.com, that podcast episode, whatever, y'all gonna have to let it ride. That blog post, I really just focused on how the divine feminine energy is awakening in this age of Aquarius, and how we're coming back to the true order and the true nature of things, where the feminine energy is the leader and the masculine energy is the supplementary energy to allow the feminine to continue to flow. Now, I'm gonna have three things that I'm gonna mention today, which allows you to be taken care of, but as an active participant in your manifestation. Check me out. Again, y'all. I go to my Instagram. I got the proof. The proof is in the pudding. Not my Instagram, my TikTok. The proof is in the pudding. I made sure I recorded some social proof because I needed y'all to realize and understand how powerful it is when you're using your energy for your greatest good. Okay? Number one, feminine does not equal soft. This is the first thing I want to cover. Feminine does not equal soft. And now, what does that mean? Just because you are relaxing and resting, that does not mean you're not about that action. Mm, And my favorite example to pull it out of is from Mother Nature, right? Mother Nature is beautiful. We admire her. She gives us all these different things. She gives us mountains. She gives us the rainforest, the tropical beaches and waterfalls and all the fish and all the everything else. But you know what she also can do? Start a fire with that lightning and with them volcanoes. Volcanoes all got lava everywhere. Boom, boom, boom. Now it's Pompeii all over again, honey. Earthquake, boom, make it earthquake shake. What you talking about? Waterfall. Now that waterfall turned into a hurricane. Mother Nature, she can be beautiful, but she also can be dangerous. She can also be destructive. And that's the thing when I'm talking about feminine does not equal soft. You have to be willing to take it there. And this is something I'm coming on spirit. I'm looking at this blue. This blue is calling to me, the throat chakra. Y'all, we have to be speaking out about shit. You have to check a nigga about his shit. Excuse me. I just had to say it. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't know who my listeners is, but I had to say it like that. We got 17 minutes in and I ain't said the N word. That's my first time saying it. But you have to check people, not just men, women, everybody. You have to be willing to check everybody in a way that is so polite, or not even polite necessarily, but so classy. I got a classy, nice, nasty way to check me an MFer when I'm ready to, because feminine does not equal soft, right? I'm not letting nobody run all over me. I'm not letting nobody take up all my time, energy, space. I'm not letting nobody force me to settle for nothing that I don't want. If it's something that I want, it's that's what I want, and don't bring me nothing less. All right, let's move over to number two. Number two, feminine is dominant. Hashtag C number one. Okay. Now this one is feminine energy is water. All right. And again, Mother Nature gives us so many examples of how this shit's supposed to roll, but we get the game twisted and think we know 2 times 2 equals 4. But what is 4? You ain't never know nothing. I gave you 4. You ain't even know how to make 4 if I wanted to give you 4 fingers and to make 5 with the thumb. You ain't even know what 4 was. Anyways, that's not me. That's not what I said. Feminine is dominant. Back to the queen bees, back to the water. You have to direct that masculine energy. You have to direct the drones to do what they need to do to give some direction, to give some form and shape. Water is erosive, not because it's so dangerous or not because it's so, how do you say? Water is erosive because it's consistent. I don't have to be, say the negative part. I can say the positive. Water is erosive because it's so consistent, because you're showing up and demanding something every time. I'm demanding this much space every time. That's how it erodes at the rock, at the masculine, at the solid, at the physical. Because the water, the fluid, is constantly demanding just something, and actually, it's demanding a little bit more. My husband, when he get off the road, y'all, he comes home to a list. He got to put together Jeremiah, what is it called? His dresser right now. I told y'all he do the cooking, he's making dinner right now. This is not a brag. This is not a do. But I understand how this thing works, and it works very well over here. It works very well. Me allowing myself to not be a backseat driver, as in passenger, but backseat as in I'm being chauffeured. And let that be what it is. I love that. Yeah, thank you very much. All right. Now, number three, that takes me to number three, y'all. This is perfect because I wasn't even looking at my notes. Number three is prepare to be served. And this equals serving yourself. Now, I talked about just now being chauffeur, right? Being a backseat driver, meaning being chauffeur. But that means what? That I paid for the driver. Not assuming that my husband is a chauffeur now. Y'all, he's not my slave. Tighten up. But that means I paid for the driver. That means I did the necessary work to create a lifestyle where I'm able to sustain the driver. I'm serving, and these are all metaphorical, examples, but I'm really just talking about I'm taking care of myself so much that the world knows they got to take care of me. You just see certain people, right? They just look like money and everybody know not to play with them, whether they white, black, yellow, blue, green, I don't care. You get what I'm saying? Some people don't know no better and they just gonna treat you any type of way regardless. But at the end of the day, it's at some level, people who are so well manicured, they nails done, they hair done, they clothes nice and ironed and crisp, no wrinkle, bag is nice, name brand. You get what I'm saying? And these are not necessarily, how do I want to call it? Material things, but these are presenting things. This is very Venus energy because you don't have to spend a lot of money to be well manicured. That just means you're taking the time when you get out the shower to put that lotion on your body and you're showering well and you're using scents that are very complementary to your skin type and your complexion. Y'all want to know something I'm really been into? I found out last year when I got my birth certificate, my real birth certificate, that it might have been 2024, excuse me, that I was a Cancer rising, y'all. I always thought that I was a Scorpio rising. What the fuck? But I'm a Cancer rising, which makes a lot more sense, anyways. But Cancer, right, ruled by the moon. Moon is the mother, is representative of the vanilla scents. So y'all, I do not play when it comes to picking out my scents. All my scents have some type of vanilla accent to them because I play on that. I play on my knowledge of, oh, I'm a Cancer rising. So this is my aura. Why would I not put a little bit of me in my aura by having a vanilla scent? You know what I mean? And I know vanilla is milk, right? Milk is the mother Cancer. Boom. I know this stuff. That's me using astrology to my, advantage anyways. But at the same time, y'all, I'm getting excited. I am taking care of myself. I'm preparing to be served by the world by serving myself, by knowing myself deeply, by looking at, by being obsessed with myself, by knowing what's good for my hair and good for my skin and good for my stomach, good for my, gut health. What do I like? What do I not like? It goes deeper than that, but what is good for me? This is not good for me to hurt my teeth. This is not good for me. It makes me feel sick. Anyways, self preservation is the key. You should never be giving more than you're getting. And this is the let me take care of you. I didn't say nothing about what you needed to do for me. He didn't say nothing about that. Let me take care of you because this is not something selfish. This is something self serving because self preservation is key. We already are the water, ladies. I'm not talking about down under. I'm just talking about the energy. The energy is flowing and life giving. You know what they taught us back in elementary school? Why does Earth the only planet with life? Because it's the planet that have water, and water is a life giving substance. We are water. I heard something on TikTok yesterday and was like, the Earth is 70% water because we are in the great womb. That's the amniotic fluid. The 70% is the amniotic fluid of the mother. Whoa. I didn't even think about that. Thinking about the earth being a living organism, a living being, is it having a womb, it having a source of creation, and us living in it. And that's so true. We don't live in the lungs being the atmosphere. We don't live up there. We live in the womb where it's fresh and it's fertile and it's able and it's abundant. And that's that feminine energy, y'all. That's why it's so easy once you tap into it and realize it don't have to be, oh, quit. so cool. Nara Smith, Soft Smith. No, it could be pow, crack that whip with love, right? Right. Now, I want to give y'all some TikToks. This is something I don't normally do, but I want to TikTok shout out some people that I feel like are just good people to be listening to right now. All right. The first is a lady of the house, and that's DTHEE on TikTok. I've been following her page. This a married woman as well, but she tells her how an IS is, and she said something that's so beautiful. I show gratitude for love, and I set myself up for love by loving on the people that's in my life and loving on the love that I have in my life and loving on myself. And that's how you really get. And I'm y'all. I did not have this in the notes, but I'm gonna silently plug my anthology, Letters to the Lord. I'm not gonna put a date on it, but it is gonna get published, y'all. And when it get published, y'all be the first people to know. So if you're subscribed to the podcast, you'll be the first to know about the anthology, Letters to the Lord. This is just my journal pages from maybe 2018 to 2022, 23. And y'all, I call it my personal Bible because it really is, y'all. It really blessed me so much to just be able to read how much pain and hurt that I was sharing with myself and sharing to God. And then looking back and saying, you did so much and you did so well. And I'm so proud of you and I love you so much. And just the love that I was begging for was right here in me, but I was looking outside for it and I was frustrated that I couldn't find it because it wasn't out there. It was in me. And that's what this is about, y'all. This is not selfish. This is self-serving. This is how we fall in love with life and how we get more love out of life by loving on ourselves, preparing ourselves to be served by loving and serving ourselves. And that's not cliche. I used to say, how can I love myself? I used to say that shit. How can I love, excuse my language, y'all. I hate to cuss like that, but I used to be like, how can I find love? How can I love myself? This is coming from somebody. You get what I'm saying? Y'all know. If y'all don't know, we'll talk. We don't got to talk about it. But anyways, at Lady of the House, follow her. She knows what she's talking about. She's a grown up, grown woman. She's growner than me. Hell. So the other one is going to be now. Please forgive me, y'all. Find this. It's at PINKIY Sensei. So it's like Pink IY Sensei. She is PhD student in all things feminology. I'm not lying. And this is not on the feminine sense. This is an ancestral, deep understanding of the feminine energy as the divine power, as its source. As source. That's another thing. Because you know that what's crazy about water? All the water in the earth is the same water that's always been here. Ain't that crazy? You know how to be like, oh, you drinking dinosaur pee. That's divine source. If that's life, if water is life, and all the water that's on the earth has always been on the earth, and you got water in your body, and when you was made in a sack of water because your mama had amniotic fluid in her. Is she not a part of that divine source, all one as well? Every cell in your body got water in it. You are also the one, the source, and we just looking at the water, right? Okay. But Pink IY Sensei, she gets deep, y'all, and she is very knowledgeable in terms of ancient texts, in terms of reference material, different books, suggestions. You know, when you're really wanting to get tapped into your divine feminine, it's like, what is my divine feminine? What is she? Girl, I couldn't tell you. If you don't know, I couldn't tell you because everybody's look different. You get what I'm saying? But yes, that was good, y'all. That was so powerful. Now, before I sign off, y'all know I have to make this last call for Live Life Lavish University. Y'all see me? I'm so icy. I can't wait. I'm gonna put the picture of the ring on the caption in the caption. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so icy. I'm living the life of my dreams, and that's what I want to share for the next 10 women who sign up for Live Life Lavish University. We have a date, Friday, April 17th, 2026. Please, y'all, I can't even, I'm about to scream. That's amazing. Founding Circle, my founder's circle. I want to give the first 10 women who sign up for Live Life Lavish University, $99 off. Use code FOUNDING10, FOUNDING 10 at checkout. Oh, excuse me, confirmation, y'all. That burp was trying to come out. I was trying to force it in. Use that code FOUNDING10 at checkout for $99 off. And y'all, let's make history. Let's do the biggest. Okay? I love y'all to life. I'm so happy to be here with y'all again. Episode 5. Let's see how many we could get in 2026. All right? Cousin Lex signing off. Life with Lexis Kai podcast. Bye-bye.